That's James's pulled pork pizza soup with no pork in it. And so a bunch of other things, celery and apples, shallots, garlic, peppers, and some wax beans that I fried up, a tomato from my garden, that's a lemon boy, and I'm going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, which got top of the stack, Aardvark, 21 Bridges, Defending Jacob, Candyman, The Whistlers, MacGyver's the first 2 seasons, and The Pale Door got bottom of the stack. And that's Angel's beef rib or something like that to eat today. And I'm going to help her out with that because she licked it. But the other dogs will get it if she doesn't. I can't guard her all day while she tries to work it out. So that's, I'm going to try to cut some of the meat off of that eventually. So, before Angel and I get started on this deck dinner, and you notice that James isn't here yet, but that's okay, because if you've watched before, you know that James actually prefers gazpacho. He says he doesn't like gazpacho, like actual gazpacho, but he likes his soup cold. So, or like room temperature. So it doesn't matter at all. It's hot right now, but it doesn't need to be by the time he gets to it. So this is my song called Let's, which I wrote August 21st, 2023. Though I've had fun in bed with you while hiding from the rain, I really like the outdoors too, so let's get out again. Let's sit and feed a bird today, or just get out and sit beneath the sky that's blue, not gray, and rest just loving it. Let's save the days we spend in bed until the days grow cold, and let's enjoy outdoors instead until we've grown too old to walk through nature that we love, through flowers that we know, that turn to face the sun above because it helps them grow. Let's seize the opportunity to walk instead of lie in bed and sleep there peacefully. Let's live before we die. So that's my song, Let's, and let's get started on this. So you'll notice it's still a little bit gray skies. The blue hasn't come out, but the rain has stopped, and I thought, well, I better get going on dinner and stuff. And so I have some potatoes roasting on the grill right now, and that'll be good for later. And so let's get started on this. My back is feeling a bit better, but that was a lot of work getting all this together, so we'll hope for the best. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, this was a bit long as well. I mean, it's like the Marvel stuff, it's always kind of long, isn't it? 149 minutes, so it's quite a sit you'll have to do, but that's okay. If you're young, then you can sit for that long and it won't hurt. Anyway, I don't know why people bother going to the theater, but this is the sort of thing that they make money at the theaters for, and there's a lot of action, and I don't like all the you know, they're playing rock music and stuff while they're saving the galaxy. It just seems sort of silly, but whatever, it's made for kids, and keeping that in mind, I think every 10-year-old would love this. So, top of the stack. It was entertaining. I did sit through it. Aardvark. Very different movie. This one's made for adults. No children would enjoy this one. And some teenagers would. I would have enjoyed this as a teen. But it's about a schizophrenic man who is not taking his meds, and he has a brother who sends money to like care for him, so he has an apartment, stuff like that. Schizophrenic. So, but his brother is an actor, and he really doesn't have anything else to do with his troubled brother, right? So, anyway, the schizophrenic thinks that he sees his brother in character everywhere. His brother comes to visit him that way, and that's, you know, he'll be a homeless woman, or he'll be a whatever, right? And he thinks that it's his brother, but it's not. And anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting to get a different perspective on things. 21 Bridges. So this is you know, good police officer busting bad cops sort of movie. So if you're into that sort of thing, you might like this. The good cop happens to be an African American, which I guess that's it's just the fashion right now. And not all of the bad cops are Caucasian. They so anyway, whatever. There's enough action there. People might enjoy it if you like those sort of things. Defending Jacob. This one was a TV miniseries, and it's about a kid who, well, it's about a teenager who I think he's 14 in this, I can't remember. But anyway, it's based on a novel. It's not a true story, so who cares, really? And I was watching this going, yeah, who cares? The whole time, right? I was like, anything else is more interesting than this, because it's real. But the teen has been picked on, and then his bully ends up dead, and he's being tried for a murder of the guy. But you don't know, and his parents don't know even. You know, his dad stands by him the whole time. But anyway, if you're into that, it had some good acting. Candyman. Say it. What is it? Is that what it's called? Say it? I thought it was the Say My Name, but anyway, whatever. Who cares? They did manage to make a more interesting story, spun out of the original Candyman movie, which really wasn't good. It was just a stupid horror movie that basically ripped off the whole Bloody Mary idea. You look in the mirror. I mean, everybody did this, didn't they, when they were kids? And as far as I can tell, I am still here to talk about it, so Bloody Mary did not kill me. But you turn off the lights, and usually it's in the school bathroom, because some other kids have convinced you to do this, right? And you stand there and you look in the mirror, or, well, where the mirror would be, right, because it's dark, and you say Bloody Mary's name 3 times, and then she kills you. Or not. Whatever. Who cares? So, in this, you say it 5 times, so you've got to be pretty sure you want Candyman to come and kill you. Like, it doesn't even make sense. It's the kind of thing that kids do, yet here it's adults that are doing this silly thing. And anyway, they managed to make a little bit more interesting story out of this, but it's not the movie that is blood chilling exactly. It's the underlying theme of the movie that basically Candyman was just a nice guy who gave candy to kids, and then some other people thought he was a bad guy because some children were getting hurt by candy, and so he was just assumed it was him. So And now he comes back and kills people. So, but that's not the blood-chilling part. The blood-chilling part is that he seems to have a real passion for killing Caucasian people. The Whistlers, loyalty is not their language. Boy, it's tough to even remember when I get down this far in the stack and it's been like 3 days since I've seen it. Honestly, I could watch it again. I probably wouldn't remember it 3 days later. But yeah, it's just bad. So if you're wanting a shoot 'em up sort of whatever adventure movie, I'm really not the person to review this subject, because I really don't care. I mean, there's some, like this one, MacGyver. I didn't even know that they'd made this. It's a remake of the original MacGyver. And I had a really hard time getting through the first season. The second season, I started as almost every season series. I get into it eventually, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. You can, and I usually do something else while I'm watching it, because it's really not worth devoting all my time to. So I can get a lot of cooking done, or or poetry writing, whatever. And it sounds like James is coming, so he's gonna get to eat a soup before it's cold. So anyway, with MacGyver, MacGyver's sidekick Jack is really into the Die Hard movies, Bruce Willis, and who isn't, right? Honestly. Hey, James.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, I'm just reviewing some movies, so you'll get to come and enjoy this, yeah. So,
I had to sleep in extra.
So this spans from 2016 to 2021, this MacGyver series. And I don't recall when the first one ran. It was in the 80s sometime.
Yeah.
But,
was it a TV show?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it starred that guy that was in Stargate SG.
Stargate. There we go.
But,
he should have been a Kevin or something like that.
I don't know what his name is. But, oh, you're losing your board in your soup.
There we go.
Yep. So, anyway, let's get on to reviewing MacGyver. It stars a younger, blonder, smaller Sam Winchester. The best actor in this show is the actor who played the character that James called the Mormon from CSI. James knew every other character's name. Since we watched that show a lot when in syndication, it says a lot that neither James nor I ever learned this character's name.
Is he the guy with the gruff voice and stuff like that?
I think his voice is gruff.
Okay, but an older...
Honestly, it's kind of wimpy, but he's not really older. Oh, were you talking about Brass?
Oh, I love...
I
love that guy.
No, you
but
called
the Mormon, I've kind of forgotten.
The kind of muscly guy who was pretty nondescript.
Yeah, it's maybe the trouble.
I don't know. That's it, yeah. So anyway, we never learned his name. This actor plays Jack in the show, who is essentially Dean to Supernatural Sam. MacGyver gets better hair as the season progresses. By the end of the season, they swap their bad acting team leader for an even worse actor. She's a midget and a total beach. She's such a bad actor that she blinks constantly, since acting is lying and she's terrible at it. In the last episode of the season, there's a scene where she's leading a team, guns a-blazing, at people shooting at them. So they're going right towards people shooting at them. Down a hallway. Her team, they all have protective gear on, so they have the helmets and all, like the SWAT team sort of, whatever. She does not.
Oh, okay.
And she's leading the charge.
Yeah, that's right.
I think they included her in this team so the viewers can hope she'll be killed off. Near the beginning of season 2, they add a tall blonde woman to their team. She gains info through psychological profiling of some kind. She explains the high blink rate thing that indicates lying. The midget continues to have a high blink rate through all of her lines. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just comedy, having that woman as the team leader and talking about the high blink rate thing. Boy, oh boy. So, seasons 1 and 2 were kind of tough to get through. And I'm not
There's
gonna...
a lot of stuff there. This is a huge...
Yeah, this is 5 complete seasons.
Yeah,
here.
even Angel's shocked, and she really can't see it.
So, and when I picked it up, I thought it was the original one, and I was like, do I really want to put myself through this? Because I remember when my mom would watch it, and my mom and I, we watched TV together, because honestly, I was a serious nerd. My mom was really my only friend when I was young, and the other friends I got were just bad news. So...
Well, they were teenagers. Maybe some of them were
No,
teens,
like
so.
even before. I didn't have good friends. They were...
Oh, that's sad.
My sister didn't either, she told me.
Well,
I don't know, or maybe we were just kind of, maybe we would latch on to the worst of them or something like that, and it was like,
I get
oh
the
yeah,
feeling
you're
that they'd
my best
latch
friend.
on to you.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Because my sister said about one of her friends, she said she doesn't even know why she was friends with her now when she looks back at it, because nobody else would be her friend.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
she was not nice to my sister.
Well,
anyway.
How can that be? Because I'm
I don't
telling
know.
you,
My sister's wonderful.
I can't imagine
I know.
anyone nicer than your sister.
Exactly.
There are people that are as nice,
Yeah,
but I can't imagine anyone nicer.
yeah.
And for anyone to be mean to her or whatever is wrong.
Yeah. But, and I don't understand it, how I ended up, the experiences with bad friends turned me in a different direction. I don't want friends. I don't go out to make them, and this is probably the closest you might get to me. And you'll find us, like if you find us on the trails, I leave. I get, maybe I'll talk for a minute and I'm gone. It's very rare for people to manage to get me to stay. One couple this spring, or June sometime, they were talking about ticks and stuff. I was comfortable with them. I didn't leave. I wanted to talk more, honestly.
I've forgotten who they were. But...
They were nice. They were from, I think, Edmonton or something. Oh, you remember. The woman was, her brother was a sports guy. A famous sports guy that you knew of. Yeah.
She was Chico Rush's sister. It's incredible.
Yeah.
Chico Rush was a
you were very
legitimate
excited about
NHLer. He won more than one Stanley Cup, as I recall.
Yeah. And, well, I got along with them really well.
You stayed. Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, and a lot of the time it doesn't say anything about you if I don't stay. I don't know why it is. I just can't stay. I have to leave. Just talk to James. He loves talking. So, but anyway.
I have to say, maybe Chico Rush, he was a goaltender, so it's hard for them to get into fights. But I cannot imagine Chico Rush ever getting into a fight because he was just that happy-go-lucky. So his sister kind of took after him. Really personable. So.
Well, maybe that's it. I don't know. But I liked the man too, and he didn't.
He was a nice guy too. He's a different personality.
Very much, and he seemed.
Exactly.
Honestly, he seemed more like me. She seemed more like you. Anyway, I don't know. But
that was one lovely meeting.
It was, yeah. We've met some great people on the trails. Honestly, I really don't. I don't look forward to my encounters with people in the city. But
now there was. Oh,
on
sorry.
the trails. Oh no, go ahead.
There was one guy. He was going faster than us, and he went all the way down the trail we were on. We'd probably been to Alderson Lake.
Okay.
Or maybe up to Carthew Lake. Remember, he was. I was shocked because he was interested in you talking about flowers.
Oh yeah, I love talking to him.
You're like, he didn't
but
look...
I felt nervous talking to him too, so I had a hard time, right? So I was just talking about the flowers basically the whole time. I was just pointing, oh, that's a such and such, that's a such and such. So that's one thing that you can get me to do that. If you want to listen to me talk about flowers.
Yeah, but you didn't stop and chat. You kept
no,
on going.
I kept on going.
He slowed down his pace.
He did, so that he could listen to the flower talk. But anyway.
I must have ran across some people to talk to.
You must have.
Because I fell way behind.
Yep. But anyway, what was I talking about with MacGyver? So my dad, when my mom would watch MacGyver, and I was sitting there too. I didn't really care for the show, truth be told, but I loved spending time with Mom. And somebody's upset.
It sounded upset. Maybe they'll say excited.
But anyway, my dad would sit there and go, oh, like he would find that there. Like he would, you know, so he was always putting it. And now watching this, I'm like, oh yeah. Like there would be that many feet of that sort of cable just hanging around there. You know, like they have extra that they're just, I
think that's part of the thrill of the show. Yeah. It's a bit campy, isn't it?
Anyway. But having said that, I enjoy it. You know, and it gives you a feeling like, I can totally MacGyver this. You know, when you run into a problem, you're like, yeah, let's see what I can do.
I bet it was made to appeal to teenage boys or whatever. You know, I could do that. I could be that. You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
Of course, I had enough teenage boy in me when I was around 50 that I enjoyed it.
So I was enjoying it after seasons 1 and 2. The first 2 seasons, tough. I'm enjoying it a little bit more. I'm on season 3, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. So just zip past this if you actually want to watch seasons 1 and 2. The blonde that they added to the series, she was a terrible actress. She might have been a model or something like that. Really anorexic.
Oh my God.
Her hair was terrible. Like she was starting to bald, so she had the bangs to try to cover that up. And honestly, it might have just been her hair was like, oh, I can't possibly grow because you're so skinny.
Sometimes it falls out when a person's bulimic and or anorexic.
They should have just put a wig on her, honestly. And she seemed like a really nice person. Not a good actress. And they killed her off. So you don't have to worry about her for long. Midget, however, she's not dying. You're still watching. Oh, are they going to get her yet? So I don't know. The Pale Door. This one seemed like a film school project.
Oh, the one of those.
But not a good one. It made bottom of the stack, rightfully so. I did get through it. I don't know how I made it all the way through. It's so bad. It's a Wild West sort of horror movie.
It's even got cow skulls on the back cover.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. But anyway, it's not good. Not good at all. So that's all I had to talk about. So James, you go ahead.
So it's up to you now, Angel. Come on, speak up. She was very interested in what you were.
Well, what she's interested in. I brought her meat out so that the dogs wouldn't take it. The dogs, the boys. She's a dog too.
They're a lot bigger than her.
Yeah,
a lot younger.
Well, Elvis, he takes her stuff all the time, and I feel bad. And then she gets mad at me. She's like, he took my stuff and it's your fault because you weren't protecting it.
So I'm going to pee on the floor?
Exactly. I'm going to come and pee right in front of you. So, 4 or 5 minutes, 5 minutes about that. And I'm going to try to see if she wants some of this, and you can go ahead and...
So there's a big brouhaha this morning about a Spanish official smooching on the lips, I think it was the captain of the Spanish women's soccer after they won the World Cup.
Oh, okay.
They got a World Cup now for women. Sorry, no, it's just men. And they were calling it like sexual violence on CTV.
Sexual violence. Wow, that really.
Okay, no, dude got carried away. I gotta say, I was more I didn't even see it. I feel comfortable. There's one guy, especially near the end of the receiving line. They were hugging the girls and stuff. They hug them and pick them up. I thought, well, that's a bit over enthusiastic, but Latin culture maybe is a little bit more expressive than whatever. No, like maybe the guy had hots on for this woman he kissed on the lips. It was the captain, and she looked gruesome. Actually, she had bags under her eyes. She was tall, and some guys might like both those sorts of things. Tattoos all over the place, and kind of scrawny in a tall kind of way. She's the only one that it seemed to me to be maybe anorexic or something like that, but I think it was just a function of her height. Anyway, she didn't look terribly attractive. I don't think a guy would go out of his way to smooch on her or whatever. I think he just got carried away. I don't think there was anything sexual about it. It was.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of the time guys will be like jumping around and all over each other, and I don't think that they're having sex in the change rooms or whatever.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, that's a classic example. Guys will be patting each other on the bums in sports context. They'll be kissing each other and so on and so forth. To interpret it sexually is, of course, CBC is going to go with their narrative, which is like, I'm afraid there's a lot of so-called feminists out there who follow there's a certain school that every man wants to rape every woman. And then some say, it's just every man wants to rape at least one woman.
Well, okay, yeah, it's inappropriate. But
sometimes
to call it sexual violence, I don't.
No.
What does that say? When you give a term like that to kissing, then when you give the same term to
Ted Bundy,
then it's kind of.
It's overstatement.
Yeah, well, it's more than that, because it makes if people say, oh yeah, he should be charged with sexual violence for what he did to me, and they really legitimately, like, it was very violent, very much, then it kind of dismisses the extent of the violence of it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Anyway.
It's just maybe the guy shouldn't be the leader of the federation. I mean, maybe he should show better judgment. I was uncomfortable all the hugging and stuff like that. I come from a different kind of culture.
Well, yeah, your dad, he didn't shake or didn't hug when you were leaving. He shook hands.
Yeah.
Which was very strange for me, right? Because my family, it's. And I mean, I thought my mom and dad were really prudish or whatever. I thought they were the most prudish people in the world. So to find your dad